and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on some of the things that I picked up for 2024. Now, if you are watching this and you've heard my opinions about some of the things I'm getting ready to share with you today, then you will be very confused as to why I repurchased some of these things. So last year, or this year rather, I struggled a lot with the system that I had chosen for 2023. I felt like most of what I chose just didn't fit the needs. And so I ended up making a purchase early February for the Plum Planner inserts. And the Plum Planner has served me so well. And I was extremely upset when I damaged my inserts for the remainder of this year. I ended up having to get the Happy Planner due to life changes and circumstances and things like that. And although the Happy Planner has not done me well in the past, as I just didn't like it, it has served me pretty well for the time that I've been in it. And the only complaint that I have is that they don't have an A5 sized option. Like, if they had an A5 size option, also if they were more consistent and not overly decorated all the time, I probably would consider them for many other things. But the classic size, as great as the space is and how I'm using it is, next year I'm just not wanting to lug that thing around. I really need my planners to be portable yet still functional. And not only that, I've missed my bullet journals like crazy, y'all. Like, I've missed them. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that I purchased. Now, everything that I purchased in this size is here. This is the A6 size. However, there is one thing that I purchased that is not yet here, and that item is from Hemlock and Oak. So one of you mentioned that you had the Hemlock and Oak Daily Undated Planner, and I ran to their site. I downloaded or printed out the 2023 version because they do have that option where you can print out and try it first before you buy it. And I secretly used the Hemlock and Oak printable spreads for a while. I used them for a while before we even packed up the house, moved back home temporarily. So yeah, I was secretly using it and not sharing that part with you guys. And I loved it so much. I thought the layout was perfect. I thought that it would be just the perfect all-around home planner, and that it just really served a need that I was kind of missing in some of my bullet journals. So I jumped the gun, and right before we left to drive home, I ended up pre-ordering it. And it has been, I ordered it early August. It has been now 2 months and some odd days. So yeah, I'm anxiously awaiting the Hemlock and Oak 2024 Daily Planner. And I've got some stuff on there, some add-ons that I did, and I can't wait to do an unboxing for that. So this intro has been well overdue and very, very long. So let's jump in. So the first thing up is actually not something for 2024, but something for now, and it is a half-year stylogy. So I am currently using the Happy Planner right now, and I just want something that is a little bit more portable, and I want to be able to make some of my own spreads. I'm loving what I'm doing right now in the Happy Planner, don't get me wrong, and I will continue to share updates on my disc-bound systems and functional systems using the Happy Planner, but I am craving something a little bit more portable, so I went ahead and got this half-year stylogy because I thought that this would be just enough pages to get me through the remainder of the year. I didn't need a full 365. And yeah, so I'm going to be setting this up, and when I do set that up, I will share that with you all. So let's set this one to the side. The next, let's move some stuff out of frame. The next couple of things that I have is these Moleskine Kaale books. And you guys, I've shared this with you. I journaled in these last year and I was doing a month every book. And so that's my intentions, is to continue with that. This year I didn't really get to journal much because my son is a little bit older now and he doesn't really give me a lot of time that I had before when he wasn't walking, obviously, and also throwing temper tantrums as he's in the terrible 2 phase. However, I am going to be trying to pick back up this habit, using up the last little bit of my Moleskine stash. And then when that's done, I will try to find something else. I've looked into field notes, not really sure how I'm going to feel about them, although I like the covers and things like that. But I really do like the Moleskine paper for like the journaling aspect. So, we'll see. So this is something that I'm going to be using in conjunction with something else. Now, I want to set this to the side because that's something else I'm going to save for last, because I want to go into full detail and explanation as to why I got this item. So if you saw the thumbnail, then you probably already know what that something is, but I will give my full explanation. And yes, just stay tuned for that. So these are 2 planners that I purchased last year. If you remember, when I did my 2023 lineup, I had originally purchased the Leuchtturm1917 daily and also the Leuchtturm1917 weekly with the notebook. And I ended up not using this planner at all last year, or I'm sorry, this year. I ended up not using these 2 things at all because I actually went through my planner and realized that there were a few defects. Like some of the pages were kind of stuck together. The seams where the stitching was not really shown, and it was kind of a bummer. I kept the daily, but I ended up tossing the weekly because I didn't really like how or what I did when I was trying to use the planner. But I ended up keeping the daily, and I was testing out, like some different layouts and spreads. So if you are familiar with my Moleskine pages that I've been using, the Moleskine 18-month daily from this year, then you kind of have a little bit of an idea of where I'm going with this. So I intentionally or originally intended for this system to be my one and all for next year. Like I was very, just stuck on the fact that I just wanted to use one planner, one system, and just see where I get with that one planning system. So although I like this, I'm thinking there's some other areas, some other things in my life that I kind of want to tackle. I've already kind of done flips of this, but I'll go ahead and do another flip. I've shown the insides of these in later videos from like earlier this year for the 2023 version. However, I'll go ahead and give you guys a little flip now just so you guys can see, for all of those who are new and have not seen the Leuchtturm 19 planners. So this one is the daily. And what really drew me to the daily is the fact that they have... getting there. This is the monthly, by the way. They have these project plan sheets that break up each month, and you can use this to track anything. And so this really, this draws me to this planner because it has some things in it that the Moleskine Pocket Daily does not have. And the last time when I did my initial flip and review of, this for 2023, I didn't really go through the book like I should have. And so I knew this was in there, and this is probably the best part for me, is just being able to lay out your tasks, like habits and things that you want to track. You can use this for habit tracker, mood tracker, whatever, and you can just track different things every single month. And I absolutely love that, because then you don't have to draw in trackers, you don't have to add trackers, and all of that different stuff. So this is perfect. However, what I really, really, really like about the Leuchtturm planners, and I'll zoom you in here. What I really like about these planners, this one in particular over the Moleskine, is that not only do you have the timeline like the Moleskine, right? You have a little space here that you can use for notes, but then you go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then what's this? An extra note page. It is an extra note page after every single week in this planner. So with the Moleskine, they don't give you an extra note page after the weeks. You just get the dailies and that's it. The dailies, the monthlies, and that's it. This is like perfect, because if you are someone who just solely wants to use one planner and not several different things, you can do so many things with this. You can draw out a weekly here in this space and tab it off. That way you have your dailies and your weeklies in one book. You also have monthlies in here. These are the, what is this? The like a vertical monthly. It's kind of like the bullet journal. What I am thinking of doing is highlighting all the weekends just so I can see weekend to weekend. But yes, you can do so many different things with this. Now, I got questions. I'm going to probably make my camera shake a little bit, and I'm so sorry for that. But I want to show you some stuff. This is some stuff that I use. Oops. This is some stuff that I use in my Happy Planner. But a while back, I got a question in regards to fitting everything in a pocket Filofax. And it has been quite a while since I've used a pocket Filofax. I mean, it was something that got me started in my journey of pocket planning, and then I later just branched out into different things because I realized that pocket rings worked for that era of my life, but it doesn't work for me anymore. And sometimes I do crave going back to that because it was so functional and so portable and so flexible, like how I like the disc because it's so flexible. But I realized that the pocket like ring inserts are very, very small. And I understand that there's Pocket Plus, but A6 just takes it up a notch. And I also understand that there's A6 rings. But for me, I feel like that is just a tad bit too big because you have to accommodate the ring mechanism, and that's something that I'm not willing to, settle on. So I just stick with like pocket and A6 size notebooks because they're a little bit easier. I can take them in and out of cases and have all the inserts, and yeah, I just love it. So like I said, the Leuchtturm1917 has an extra weekly page after has an extra note page after every week of dailies. Now, this is my hack, and really it's not even a hack, it's just something that I've been doing, which has worked very well for me, is I have, if you can look into this box, this is a box full of printable stuff that I like to add into my planners to help with my planning. So to take out this one little stack, if I can get it out, these are printable sticky notes that I found off of Etsy. If you guys are curious as to where I got these from, I will try to link them in the description. If I don't link them, definitely just comment and I'll try to get you the link as soon as possible. But these are printable sticky notes, and what I do is I just print them on regular paper because my printer does not print sticky notes. And I just print out the ones that I need. So I have some for meal planning. I have some for monthly habit tracking. I have some for weekly. So if you are someone who doesn't have a whole lot of stuff going on for the week, what I like to do is take these little sticky notes like this, and what I will do is I will tape them in like so, and then that way I have, my week. Now, granted, this will add bulk. This will add a crap ton of bulk if you're doing this every single week, if you're adding in a bunch of these little sticky notes. But if you just need something that has a little bit more structure, or you want something a little bit different for the week, or you want to utilize the space that is allotted for other things, and you still want to have a weekly or a shopping list, like I have shopping list here, I have a time tracker here, I have routine ones, I have an actual calendar. So if you want to have an actual calendar that you can, mark off, I have this where you can just fill it out and mark it off. These are great for that. Someone asked me, like I said, planning and pint-sized planning, or fitting everything into a filofax, like a pocket filofax. And my take on that is to find multifunctional inserts that have pullouts, inserts that allow you to do more than the typical filofax inserts. Because what I've learned in my pocket planning journey is that tip-ins and multifunctional inserts will serve you best versus the single use or single functional inserts. And by that I mean like inserts that just dedicated to one specific thing. Try to look for inserts that have multiple different sections. A good place to go is Peanuts Planner Co. I did use some of her printables and personal size rings. I also like to use inserts from Wonderful Planning. Those are free. A lot of you always ask me where I get some of my inserts when I'm showing like my personal ring size planner. Wonderful Planning is a good place to go if you are looking for something that is free and convenient. She is a great option of inserts, like a wide variety. But multifunctional inserts, for what I have learned, is Peanuts Planner Co. has a really good range of them. And you can make them into like different sections. Like you can use the different sections, make them whatever you want to make them. So that's my take on, fitting everything in. Another take is, like I just mentioned here, is using some of these little printable like sticky notes and just taping them on your pages. Like this one is an AM and PM routine. You guys have seen them within my Happy Planner. You've seen me use them in my Happy Planner. I have a weekly tracker one. So if you just want to, if you are someone who writes tasks often and you find that it is too repetitive, maybe you could, make a weekly tracker. That way you're tipping off some of those things that you should be doing every week. And so that way you can save your page space for other important things that you want to put down or lay down on a page. So this is something that I absolutely love. And I'm thinking, I was thinking about making this my main planner. Now, granted, I'm thinking also about making one system health and wellness, one for my catch-all, and one for journaling. So I haven't quite figured all of that out, but when I do, I will definitely update all of you. So I just want to give you an idea of where my head is in terms of the things that I'm using for the next year. The second thing that I like about the Leuchtturm Daily Planner, unlike the Moleskine, is that they give you some extra pages in the back. So these are all of the extra pages that come in the Leuchtturm Daily Planner. And I do think that I mentioned this in the last video that I filmed earlier this year in regards to this little pocket. But actually, this is A6. It's A6 size as in like height, but it's actual pocket as in width. So yeah, A6 pocket. But nonetheless, they do give you some perforated sheets as well as just some regular blank sheets. So I think you get like, I want to say, are they all perforated? Let's see, 1, 2. So you get 2 non-perforated, and then the rest are perforated. But you get these little extra sheets, and these are perfect for when you have extra days that require a little bit more space. You can pull from the back here. You can also make a collections list. You can also do a bunch of other things in the back here without having to tear the pages out at all. So I really like that the Leuchtturm includes the extra page for notes after every week of dailies. And then they also include extra blank pages in the back of the book for whatever you have. And then again, I mentioned that they give you archival stickers, which I think is perfect. And I wouldn't use these until you're absolutely done with your planner, because these are going to get damaged very, very bad. They don't hold up that well, so they're basically used for archival purposes anyway. So there's that. And I've already kind of somewhat set mine up. I've tabbed it out and I've added some like little stickers and stuff like this. Now for the weekly Leuchtturm planner, if you guys have seen my passport size weekly planner, what is it, planner setup, it's something, I can't remember the name, but it's on my channel. It's when I did a plan with me, and it in the weekly passport booklet or whatever. I'm thinking of doing the same thing with this. I was really loving doing that in the passport size, but what I also hated in that book is that I had to date everything, and that became a pain. So because I would also forget or miss a date and then have to start all over. So this year I got the same book again from last year. Only difference is I got it in a different color because I felt like black on black was just too much for me. And I've, like the daily, I've set this one up, so it's somewhat set up. I still need to fill out some stuff. I have some future dates that I need to fill out. And when I do that, I will let you guys know. This is the same layout as the daily. So you have your 2024 overview and 2025 overview. And then you have your vertical monthlies, like the bullet journal style. And then you also, for the weekly, have, if I can get there, I didn't mention this, but they all come with like one little page of international holidays that no one really uses. So you can just bypass over them like I do. But this one also has the project plan. So if you are tracking some tasks for the month and your daily, if you have both like I do, then you can track other things in your weekly. So I love this option. This is perfect. And so like I said, what I intend to do, this is the horizontal, and it is the week on one side with the notes. I really liked what I was doing in the Hobonichi weeks earlier this year, but I just felt like the Hobonichi weeks just took a back burner because I got really tired of having to, grab a different book and, just planning that and then put that one down and planning something else. I need them to be together if I'm going to be using them. So what I intend to do is to use this just like I used the little passport that I was using briefly this year, is to draw a line down the page from Monday through Friday, because really Monday through Friday working days is the only time that I actually have stuff going on that is timed. And for the right, or for the left rather, I'm going to be doing all the appointment based stuff, and then for the left I'm going to be doing like weekly reminders, like maybe there's garbage day or something going up, or grocery run. And then this side is going to be notes, shopping list, reminders, anything that pops up. It's going to go on this little side here. So that's how I'm going to be using this. And I'm excited because this is relevant to what I've been doing this year anyway. If you saw my B6 Slim Nanami Cafe note setup, this is very similar to that, and I'm sticking to what is relevant to my already current system. I already did a video about my current system and how it has evolved over the years, and I chose to revisit these same planners that I ditched earlier this year because I didn't give them a full chance to work. I just kind of didn't like something and changed it instead of just changing what I was doing in the planner itself. Now, granted, I have some issues and some things I'll talk about with the second thing that I'm getting ready to show you, but we'll get past it and we'll talk about it. So the weekly, like I said, has the week on one page with notes, and then just like the daily, it comes with some note pages in the very back. So I think this is great what Leuchtturm has done. And there are not many videos on the Leuchtturm planners at all. You see a lot of the Filofax, or not Filofax, I'm so sorry. You see a lot of the Moleskine pocket dailies, but nothing on the Leuchtturm. And don't sleep on Leuchtturm. They have a really good layout and setup, and they released their planners, I want to say August. What comes before August? I'm having a brain fart. November, December, January, March. I can't remember. I'm having such a brain fart. Oh, literally. What comes for July? There we go. So, yeah, they released their planners like late July, early July, I want to say. Maybe August, early August, if I can remember. I can't remember. But nonetheless, they don't keep them on their site long. Like maybe 2 or 3 months after, they're kind of gone. I think they may still be on there now, but I think they're going to get ready and take them off their site. So if you're interested in this planner, I would definitely try to get one before it's like non-existent on their site, because I was going to repurchase this last year, or I keep saying last year. I was going to repurchase it this year because I was like, maybe if I just redo it, retry it, but they were like not there anymore. Like the tab to find it is just not there. So if you're interested, I would say try to get it now before it like goes away and then becomes out of stock. But anyway, I like that they do this. And then in the back here, because I got the option with the notebook, this is like a little phone book. And the first time I mentioned this in the video, I did not know at all what the heck this was. And someone mentioned it to me. And after they mentioned it, I was like, makes a world of sense now. So yeah, it's a little phone book, and I'm guessing that this is like your little monthly because it goes from 1 to 31. So if you have anniversaries, birthdays, specific holidays, or events for certain people, you can write them in here. I mean, it's a very small space, but you can put it in there. And then this little tabbed section is where you can put their name. So it makes perfect sense now when I look at this. So I don't know. I'm going to play around with it. I already have a book that I'm using for phone numbers, and I'm old school. I keep numbers in my phone, but I also like to have them written because suppose my phone dies, or suppose my phone's acting stupid and doesn't want to work for me, I can quickly look through a book versus fumbling with my phone. So these are the two things that I picked up this year, and this is something that I'm considering to be like my main planners. I don't know. I'm still working out the kinks because, like I said, I have one more thing that is coming that is not pocket. And so I will share that with you. And of course, I'm still figuring out like my 2024. I'm still, mapping out things that I want to use certain things for, because I also want a health and wellness planner this year. I've never had a health and wellness planner, and I feel like it is really important for me. You guys know I had high blood pressure rather sometime this year, so I really just wanted to keep better track of my health and things like that, and I think having a health and wellness journal / planner would do me justice. Now for this Leuchtturm planner, I'm going to be housing it in this Moterm. I'm not really huge on Moterm planners, but I already had this and I was just like, well, I'm not gonna just let it sit. I'm gonna put these in here, so the daily will go in this pocket and the weekly will go in this pocket. And I've already tried it. I'm not gonna try it again, but I've already tried it and they both fit. So they're gonna sit together like so. And I'm gonna tuck the Moterm bookmarks. It would fit a whole lot better if I actually slid them in the pockets, but I just wanted to give you an idea of that's how it's gonna look when I put it into this little pocket. Okay, so that is 2024 planner stuff number 1. All right, let's keep going, because this next thing that I'm getting ready to share with you guys will be a big shocker. So here we are, you guys. Look at this. So first, let's take this out of the packaging. So I've already kind of set this up a little bit, just tabbing it out mainly. But I want to talk about this because I realized that I made several videos about not wanting to get the Hibino for this year, for this coming year, for the simple fact that I didn't like it last year. Okay, so several things. This year, I only got to early February and I gave up on it. I also mentioned in my video in reference to me going back to the plum planner that I had a really hard time keeping up with the Hibino's day on 2 page, because I realized after I filmed those videos talking about the paper, like my dislike for certain pens with the paper, my markers, they bled through. I realized that I didn't try enough stuff to find what worked with this planner. Okay, it's not the Midori paper that I love, but it's still a beautiful planner, and I still really like the Midori products. I do still feel, though, no matter how many times I try to make these functional planners, they just don't work. So why do I keep buying them? Because I really like the product. I just really like it, and I've never not bought a Midori product after my first Midori. So it's hard to not buy it. It's kind of like buying the Hobonichi several years and then deciding not to buy it and then feeling regret. And then you just purchase it and you try to just make whatever it is that you're not vibing with work. So I'm going to give this a true try this time around. I'm going to use, drum roll, probably shook my phone, my camera. I'm going to use fountain pen. I'm going to use fountain pen this time because I feel like this will make a bigger difference. I'm also going to invest in some stamps because I also feel like this is also going to make another difference. A long time ago, not too far off, but a few years back, one of you, Susie, if you're watching, I haven't seen you in a while, but if you are, you gave me a date stamp and I just have not purchased ink to use it. So I'm going to use my date stamp that was given to me because it's just sitting. I'm going to use my date stamp to make the dates a little bit bigger because, as you can see, it's kind of small enough to, am I in frame? Let me zoom out a little bit. Is that working? I hope we're still filming. Maybe I need to. Okay, maybe that's working. You guys let me know. But as you can see, the dates are like very, very small up at the corner there. But I'm going to use some stamps. I'm going to try some different things. I also really want to make this work because I do like the day on 2 pages. I think the day on 2 pages is so practical. Like, to be able to have, like, your small to-do list and then have your schedule here, and then you can do meal planning, and then you can take notes and you can journal. Like, the idea behind having all of that on one page is just so ideal. And I really want to give this planner a true test, a true run for its money. It's an expensive book, so to not use it and to just give up after, you know, some issues that I've had, that's not, you know, sufficing the fact that this is such an expensive book. So I want to try this again. I didn't like the paper. Like I said, it's the Tomoe River paper. I know a lot of people were questioning that. It is the new Tomoe River paper, and I don't know. Oh, it's mixed. Some people like it, some people don't. I happen to not be a novice when it comes to knowing the difference between the two. However, I did have the Hobonichi from last year, and apparently that was using the old Tomoe River paper. So all I will say is that they don't feel the same, and that this dries completely fast, but it still bleeds through with some of my markers, most of them. Secondly, I'm going to try to do things very differently. I have been off of YouTube to focus on my own personal planning style and things that I like. So I'm going to try to continue to go in with that. And so we'll see what happens with that. Like, just staying off of YouTube and not being influenced by other people's style of how they plan and how they use their stuff and how they journal. I'm solely just going to focus on my own craft this year. So I will do a craft ton of plan with me's in this, because I realize there's not a lot of people that are posting their Hibino and sharing their spreads, or doing plan with me's and things like that in this book. And so I want to give all of those who are very intrigued and interested in this book an opportunity to see the different options that you have using it creatively, functionally, or whatever. So this is my trial. So I told you guys that I was going to be working on a series of pint-sized planning and working on getting all your needs met in smaller size planners. So I'm working on that. And this coming year, my videos will be primarily based around all of these things. So yes, if you're interested in taking the journey with me and learning and navigating through all of this stuff, I highly encourage you to just stick around and see it through with me. But I do like the Midori. Like I said, I like the layout of the Midori. I like how clean it is, because I like the Midori products. The Midori products are very clean. I like the fact that the monthlies look really nice. There's a future log here. Look at the monthly. The monthlies look really nice. This was such a great system when I put it together. I just didn't give it a chance to evolve after I put it together. I just figured that I didn't like one thing and just ran with that. The next thing that I have is the Hobonichi weekly supplement. This is something that I want to use for, I don't know, logging other things. This is something that I'm going to be logging, like appointments, maybe events, things like that. I'm going to be using this for that and nothing more, because the space in here is just pretty small and just not big enough for anything else. Plus I have the Leuchtturm1917, and so yeah, I'm just going to be using the Hobonichi weekly supplement for smaller things. But I'm excited. Maybe some memory keeping also with this. So what covers did I get with this? Last year I got the Moterm cover to go with this, and I'm not a Moterm fan. I don't really care for it. This was the cover that I originally got. Ooh. Give me 1 second. Okay, like I said, this was the cover that I got to originally go with the old Hibino from last year, or from this year rather, and did not like it at all. don't like the texture, don't like the pebbling. So I'm thinking about maybe investing in a nicer leather cover than this. But for the most of what I have, this is what I have. Now, I did get another one just to kind of protect the Hibino. However, it does not fit, and this is the A6 Plus, or the bigger version of the A6. I don't know anymore. But anyway, it doesn't fit as well as the green one did. So I don't know if the size of the Hibino is a little bit bigger, but it doesn't fit as well. But I got this mustard color to go over this kind of, it's kind of seafoam greenish. And I thought it went really well because the accents are gold. So this is what I got to go together. And yeah, basically, I don't know about it. I think I'm just going to use this for like maybe the Stology notebooks. And I'm also considering getting a A6 Nanami Cafe Note because I just really like those books and I want to try A6 because I did use the B6 Slim. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. However, that's my 2024 stuff. And this is the same setup from last year, and the Leuchtturm is the same setup from last year. There's one other thing, like I mentioned earlier in this video, that I did pre-order and I'm waiting on that to get here. It should be here by the end of this month, and I'm going to do a separate video on that because I think it deserves a video of its own, because I want to unbox it with you guys. I want to walk through it with you guys and share that. And also it gives me a little bit more something to post on my channel versus just cramming everything into this one. But since I already had these on hand, I wanted to share them with you right now, give you my insight and updates, and in terms of like what I'm trying to use them for this time around and all of that. Continue to stay watching or joining me for these videos because I do want to share the experience and the journey with you. So hopefully you'll find it interesting and yeah, enjoyable. So yes, you guys, that is that from me. I don't really have anything else to share with you at the moment. I did upload a video in regards to the Happy Planner and like some of the things that I'm doing within the Happy Planner right now. So if you didn't see that video, it is still live on my channel. It's currently up. That will be the newest video. I'm still working with lighting. The lighting is odd and off. I did change the lighting a little bit. I got lighter bulbs, but it's still kind of off. I'm working with it. So if the video looks shadowy or dark, I'm sorry. I'm still working on the lighting issue, but hopefully it's not too bad and you were able to sit and watch it all the way to the end. So yeah, thank you guys so much for sitting here and listening, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.